Hey, check this out. Today we are working on two Harley seats. This one here is a CVO seat that we're modifying, and then we actually have one of our own average Joe seats that we're going to build. The customer purchased it, but he saw another seat that we built that was custom and wants it to look similar to that. So we're going to kind of do both of those. Right now I wanted to kind of just talk a little bit about the CVO seat and some of the issues that we have, just because we fix these a lot. Most people get these, they want to go lower and further back. Whether you're short, tall, or average, everybody wants to go back on these seats because, believe it or not, it's really narrow in here. And when you bring yourself down lower, it gets a little more narrow. So we actually shave the front of the seats down so there's actually almost no foam up here, and we move you back a little bit. Now, because this has a backrest, there's only so far you can go before the seat starts to look bad and also just kind of like fall apart. It's just there's not enough foam, there's not enough material. And this customer wants to reuse the factory seat, so we're going to reuse this one here. Another thing is the heated seat elements. A lot of people ask about the heated seats, and I would say most of the complaints that we have about comfort are people who have heated seat elements. My kind of horrible guess is just that they're metal wires and they don't stretch that well. I mean, you can push it and you can feel it stretching, but it's totally different when there's where there's no foam. So I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of the heated seats as far as comfort-wise. Obviously, when it's cold out, it's nice to keep your bottom warm. But as far as long touring, a lot of times what we'll do is we'll actually put a softer, thicker foam up top of these. So then it takes longer for the heat to travel through, but this way you have a little bit more cushion on top of it and you're not worrying about sitting on these hard wires. We also relocate any of the hard parts where the wires are combined, and we stuff that underneath the foam. From the factory, they'll usually come and they'll actually be on top of the foam. So you basically have these little hard metal pieces jabbing you in the butt. We're gonna go through, I'm gonna put the cover back on this, wrap it up. I'll show you what it looks like done, so you know what a modification to a factory seat using a factory cover looks like, and then we're gonna go jump on the custom seat. Okay, so here's the CVO seat. I'm just cleaning it up. You can see what it looks like. We're using the factory cover, and it's obviously a lot lower. It still is free floated here because the original cover is on here. So if you look, you can actually push down and there's a little bit of gap. But to reuse the factory cover, that's the best way. If we glued it down, they look a little funny and they could move a little weird. Okay, this factory stock seat is about 2 inches lower, almost an inch back. You can see the original stitching, how everything changes as it moves down. So that's one thing that you'll have to deal with. And then your switches are actually about an inch lower as well because they used to be up here. So this is what the seat would look like, reusing the factory cover. Now that the CVO seat's done, we are gonna go start our average Joe seat, the custom seat. But I wanted to show you, this is another seat that we actually customized for a guy out of Minnesota. Now we're gonna go upstairs and do the seat. Okay, this seat we actually already patterned out, so we're going to trim it and pattern it. I just gotta figure out which patterns they are. Everything is patterned out. Now we're gonna take our patterns, all our patterns, and we're gonna go transfer them to vinyl and suede. Ooh, thunder. Thunder. Okay, so right now, all I'm doing is going around and pinning this cover on. I just want to make sure that it's gonna be nice and tight. And then I'm gonna make our bottom pieces of material so that we can pull that around, and that's what we're gonna fasten the seat cover to the seat pan with. But it's coming out all right. I like it. All right, so the seat cover is all sewn up. Let's go put it on. All right, so I had to switch over to the GoPro because my phone battery was dying. Hopefully you can see this a little bit. Hopefully, I can't tell. All right, let's put the cover on. Tell you what, this is one of our average Joe seats that we did a custom cover on. These aren't our high-end seats, but I tell you, I would put them up against anybody's high-end seat. It's a really nice looking seat. You get this right out of the box for your bagger. You can buy the seat itself over at strykerparts.com, and then we customize them any way you want, but this is a nice looking seat.